I am not a religious person. The things I have experienced are real occurrences. I am personally very open-minded, but fairly conservative when it comes to the paranormal. I also did not rationalize through religious beliefs about this experience. I am not in the habit of praying. I believe that when a person dies, everything about them disappears. In my thinking, I don't believe in the existence of a soul. I think it is just a figment of human imagination. Likewise, I do not believe in the existence of the devil or God. In 1998, my mother was admitted to the hospital with breast cancer. During this time, I was trying my best to take care of her and give her care and support. However, a few days before she died, I was under tremendous psychological pressure. I felt helpless and desperate as I watched my mother's condition deteriorate. I knew time was running out, and I did my best to make sure she felt relaxed in her final days. A year later, my mother passed away and I was in deep pain. Every day was a torment, and my heart was filled with sadness and loss. Stress at work also exacerbated my plight. I needed to cope with the demands and responsibilities at work. As time went on, I began to feel changes in my body. I had no appetite for anything I ate. I felt myself becoming weaker and more exhausted. On the 7th day of my mother's death, I felt very sick. I decided to lie down and rest for a while. Although I am not usually used to sleeping during the day, I could not resist this strong feeling of exhaustion. After a while, when I opened my eyes again, I was surprised to find myself floating on the ceiling. It was not like an illusion in a dream, but a real feeling. The weight of my body disappeared, as if I was in a weightless environment. I saw myself lying calmly on the bed. My clothes and pants were very dirty, and I was surprised to find that I had not changed my clothes for a week. I tried to understand what was happening in front of me, but I couldn't find any clues. Was I experiencing some kind of supernatural phenomenon? Or was I being controlled by some unknown force? The sight puzzled me, but at the same time, it also fueled my desire for the unknown. I hoped to solve the mystery and find a way back. I started looking for my dog, as he usually moves around me. I went around the room and still couldn't find any sign of it. When I arrived in the yard, the sight before me made me feel angry. I saw my dog was digging in the grass. This has been its bad habit, often destroying the flowers and plants in the flower beds. I shouted at it to stop. However, it did not respond and continued to dig into the grass with its head buried. This made me feel very strange, because usually it would stop whenever I shouted at it. I began to feel confused. Could it not hear my voice now? I approached it and then tried to get its attention. I shouted its name again, but it seemed oblivious to my presence. I gently tapped its body, but it still did not respond. When I felt confused, I suddenly found myself in a dark space. It was as if I was on a rocket ship, moving upward continuously. As the height increased, my body felt lighter and lighter. My desires and worries left me, and I was like a butterfly that had broken its shell and gained a new life. In this space, all the things I felt important before were meaningless. Without the distraction of my desires, I felt incredibly peaceful. This space was not completely dark, it was filled with a peaceful atmosphere. I no longer feel sad, and I am not plagued by fear. I can perceive many people around me, and although I can't see them, I can feel their presence. I am an independent individual, but at the same time part of the whole universe. This feeling may sound crazy, but it is so real and wonderful. I am wrapped in tranquility and no longer disturbed by the outside world. Here, I found inner peace. In this space, people don't need to use words to communicate. We are able to communicate directly with our thoughts. This type of communication is more accurate and efficient. On Earth, verbal communication can sometimes lead to misunderstandings, but here, such a problem does not exist at all. We are able to communicate exactly what we think and feel. There are several people who keep telling me that it is safe here and that I don't need to feel uneasy or afraid. Their presence made me feel cared for. I could feel their acceptance of me, and they encouraged me to explore and express myself freely. This type of communication made me feel very relaxed. I was no longer afraid of being misunderstood or isolated. Suddenly, a few people were approaching me. They told me that they were my relatives. They had been in this place since before I was born. The appearance of these people gave a mysterious and ancient feeling. They were dressed in simple robes. One of them claimed to be my great-grandfather, and his eyes were very bright. Although he had a full head of white hair, he appeared to be in a very young state of mind. His voice was low and gentle, revealing an inner strength and wisdom. In addition to my great-grandfather, several other people also exuded a similar aura. However, I felt some regret because I did not meet my recently deceased mother here. I asked them if I was dead now. They did not answer me directly, but only explained that in this space, everything is eternal and there is no concept of death. This answer made me very confused. During my communication with them, I began to comprehend the true nature of life. I realized that life and death are just a transition and that our existence does not end with the demise of our physical bodies. They conveyed to me a profound wisdom about life. They told me that in this eternal space, we exist in pure form, without the bondage of a body. In this place, I also found a river that seemed to flow down from a higher place. A huge tree was growing on one side of the river. And this tree was covered with peculiar fruits. These fruits were of a variety I had never seen before and gave off a faint white light. They had a very peculiar shape, like a cone. I counted them carefully and found a total of 12 colors, some of which I could describe, but some of which I had never seen before. Some of the fruits showed a bright red color, as if they were burning blazes. Other fruits showed a jewel-like blue color, shimmering with a crystal-clear light. I also found some fruits that were a soft pink, like a baby's cheeks. In addition to these colors that I could describe, there were other fruits whose colors I could not accurately describe. They seemed to be colors from another world, filled with a magical glow. When I touched the trunk of this tree, a warm energy penetrated my soul. My soul was cleansed on a deep level. This touch fascinated me and sparked my curiosity about the tree. I plucked a fruit, carefully placed it in my mouth, and took a gentle bite. In that instant, a sweet and rich flavor filled my mouth. I felt that my brain had gained a lot of knowledge. It was as if I could feel the mystery of the universe and the true meaning of life. As I savored the sweet fruit, my mind became clear. The answers to the questions that once puzzled me all appeared in my mind. I was surrounded by endless knowledge, as if I was in a treasure trove of wisdom. Every bite of fruit fascinated me, and I was eager to explore more truth and wisdom. I was ready to climb the tall tree, my heart filled with the desire for adventure. As I climbed the first branch, a breathtaking sight unfolded before my eyes. The leaves swayed in the breeze, as if cheering my arrival. The sun shone on my body through the gaps in the leaves. I continued to climb up and over one green barrier after another. The branches were interwoven into a complex network, and I kept looking for a solid fulcrum. Finally, as I climbed to the top of the tree, I was struck by the magnificent view. In front of me was a blue sky with the sun lighting up the entire earth. It was as if I could touch the clouds in the sky. Standing at the top of the tree, I felt satisfaction. In this moment, I understood the true meaning of bravery and adventure. I felt the infinite possibilities and vitality of life. After that, my memory became blurry and confused. I can only recall a long exchange with a man, the details of which I can no longer remember. When I woke up again, it was already the morning of the third day, which means I had slept for 3 consecutive days. If that was heaven, then my mother should be waiting for me there. However, I did not see her, nor did I see anyone I had known in life. This made me feel very confused. I shared this experience with 2 friends, hoping to get some support. However, when I told them, they became suspicious of me and thought I might be crazy. I can understand their point of view, because I would have suspected the same thing myself, before experiencing it all firsthand. Such misconceptions make me feel sad. I myself began to question whether it was all real. My memory was getting fuzzy, and I couldn't recall exactly what the man looked like or what we exchanged. Despite this suspicion, I could not forget that particular experience. I chose to understand and accept the suspicions of my friends. I did not mention the experience to my family because it was in direct conflict with their values. I understand that this experience was a special gift that helped me to let go of many unnecessary mental burdens. Although I did not meet God in person, I was able to feel His presence. This experience has given me a whole new perspective on my life. I live each day as if it were my last and no longer waste energy on things that are not important. I stopped worrying about trivial and petty things and focused on more important things. I re-examine the world and no longer see it in the same way I did before. Everyone is interconnected, and despite our different life experiences, we all have the same destination. Everyone in the world is searching for the meaning of life, just in different ways. This experience was very precious to me. It changed the trajectory of my life and made me more determined to pursue inner peace,